Let's talk about the type of identity-based policies. I have given you one example where I have shown you how an identity-based policy is working, where you have seen the use of policy elements. Now, when we talk about the policies are either already existing in your account, which I have shown you. Let me give you a quick glimpse of that. Under the policy, you will see a lot of policies are already predefined. Look at this. The type which has been mentioned here is the AWS managed. You do have the policy which are managed by the customer, which means either you can create your own policy by yourself, or you will be using some of the policies which are already created for you to consume. But there are times when you have to create your policy from the scratch, which is providing a certain role and permission to a specific service for a specific entity. It can be a user, it can be a group, it can be a role, it can be a service to service kind of permission. So taking a look into this, and I will come back and show you more about it. But look at the category. The category will be defined managed policies and inline policy. Let's understand what is managed policy. Managed policies are the stand-alone identity-based policies that will attach to the multiple users, group, and roles in your AWS account, which means it can be attached with multiple users. Means if I have users with the name of John, Mary, Steve, Disha, that can be attached to each one of us, followed by which I can attach that to the multiple groups, to the multiple roles. So it is not written like that it has to be attached only with a specific user or with a specific group. Even when I talk about the managed policy, this is further categorized into two. One is AWS managed policy and the other one is the customer managed policy. AWS managed policy that are created and managed by AWS, and they are built to provide you a specific service access or permission for a job function. Let me show you in the portal. If you have noticed, look at this. These are some of the AWS managed and they are related to a job function. What if one I have already shown you, which is related to the administration access? Look at this. This is talking about a data scientist. This is talking about the billing. If I open this particular policy, which is AWS managed, look at the permissions which are provided. All these services which are related to the billing, whether I talk about the account, billing console, budget, consolidated billing, look at the access level permission which has been provided. I'm showing you the console view and then I will take you to the JSON format as well. And look at the level of permission, even if it is limited to read, but that has been provided for all resources. For billing, I need to get into all the resources there. So similar way, if I show you the JSON format, look at this. Hope this is making more sense to you. Version, it is going to define you the effect with saying allow. What it is getting allow, what actions are getting allow. Accounts, get account information. For the AWS portal, you can get into the billing, payment method, uses, and whatnot. So it's giving you a long list of permissions which are getting created for you and which say, okay, this will be getting allowed for all of the resources. This is what a summary of it. However, when we talk about this customer managed policy, this is again a managed policy, but that has been created and managed by you in your AWS account, which means the customer managed policy will provide you more precise control over your policy than the AWS managed policy. Let me show you one of the example here under the policy. This is couple of policy which have been created by me. Look at this. The name which has been, I used one infrastructure as a code. That's why the name is totally different in here. But look at this, what I'm doing here. I'm providing an access to one of the service KMS, key management service. And the level of access I'm giving limited. It's not everything. It is not full access. It is giving a limited access to list, to read and to write, not to delete or not to edit. You can write, you can read, you can list. And the resource which has been provided, look at the kind of inline permission. This is like inline permission I'm providing to a particular region, which is my US East one, and the key which has been getting permission. So when I open the JSON format, look at it, the actions. What are the actions? Encrypt, decrypt, list, describe the key, and it is getting allowed. And the resource, look at the resource name, which means whenever you are creating a resource within your AWS account, it is going to generate a unique identification for you, which you will be using in here. So this is one of the example of your custom defined managed policy. Now let's understand what is inline policy. Now I hope you have very well understood this, that this AWS managed policies are predefined policy which are already available, which you can align with whatever, multiple users, multiple groups, multiple roles and whatnot. And the same way, this is again a managed policy, but that has been created by you within your account, which can again attached with multiple user, multiple group and multiple roles. While when we talk about the inline policy is that which you add directly to a single user. It is going to be, here we are talking about the multiple. Here we are talking about the single user, single group or single role. So inline policies are maintained a very strict one-on-one relationship between the policy and identity. So I will have a policy and I will have a identity. That identity can be a user, can be a group, can be a role. So there will be a one-on-one relationship. While in managed policy, you will have a policy and you will have the identity that can be a user, group, role, service, and this is going to maintain one to many. Okay. So that is about the type of identity-based policies here.